I want to understand the story of the hijab. The real story.
I feel like the word hijab is misunderstood, like it's been intentionally distorted for ages.
As far as I know, in Arabic, the word hijab means to cover or protect.
It can also mean a boundary or a barrier.
So it's not just a headscarf.
No. The headscarf is but one small part of it.
The hijab is not only about modesty and piety.
It's actually more complicated than that.
I know, it's about separating men and women.
No! The whole gender segregation thing is a big myth.
But every conversation about the hijab is to veil or not to veil.
Which is the wrong question, especially in this story.
Exactly. The real question is about 4 distinct hijabs that appear in 16 Quranic verses.
Just 16 verses?
Yup, just 16 out of thousands.
Wait. 1, 2... I know maybe 4. The popular ones.
I know at least 6.
Yes, and those popular verses have been misread. The other 10 have been completely silenced.
Can we read them ourselves? I mean, without Quranic scholars.
Of course. We need to be our own scholars without mediators. We can interpret the text for ourselves. Let's revisit what the Quran says about the 4 hijabs.
Wow! Freeing our imaginations and engaging our minds.
And asking questions about building a gender-just world.
We can do that?
We can do that and more.
But first, let's do something about all that noise. Quiet on the set!
Hello and welcome to all our viewers out there. I am the Ethical Hijab. We have a very special program planned today, one that we have needed for ages. Yes, folks, the wait is over. All 4 hijabs are together at last.
About time, sister.
Woohoo! Togetherness.
I've convened this here gathering because we 4 hijabs have been kept apart far too long and because it was the right thing to do. My fellow hijabs, we have suffered and we have been wrongly accused of making others suffer. Am I right or am I wrong?
So right.
200%.
We've been misrepresented, distorted, contradicted, taken out of context, and we have been co-opted by patriarchal politics.
True patriarchy.
So, we're here to reclaim our Quranic verses, clarify our layered meanings, and speak for ourselves.
Yeah.
Man, preach.
Introductions first, shall we? Let's start with you, Spatial.
I am the spatial hijab. I am the divider between private and public spaces.
That's lovely. Visual.
Oh my god, my turn? Okay. Wow. I am the visual hijab. I am the modest dress that is prescribed for Muslim women and men.
Very good. I am the ethical hijab, and I am the gateway to piety and to modest behavior.
Last, and historically least, I am the spiritual hijab. I'm the barrier blocking spiritual and intellectual advancement. I must be overcome.
Oh, gee, you're like so complex. I really envy that.
I envy your simplicity.
Envy is not so becoming of us.
Hello, spatial here. First one called, remember?
Please proceed.
I'm mentioned in the Quran only twice. I'm the curtain that separated the prophet's bedroom from those overstaying guests on his wedding night. And I'm also the curtain that protected Mary's privacy as she gave birth to Jesus. In other words, I divide that which is private from that which is public in the lives of Muslims.
Wait, there's nothing confining or inhibiting about that.
Your next visual.
I'm ready for my close-up. Be sure to get my good side. I'm just kidding. Every side's my good side. Okay, some say I'm overexposed, that I'm everywhere you turn. Others say I'm shallow and superficial. But honestly, I am so much more than just appearances. Just like spatial, I'm mentioned only twice in the Quran. I cover the bodies of Muslim men and women who express modesty through their dress.
That's men and women equally, without double standards.
But here's the kicker. You 3 get to operate literally Figuratively and metaphorically, I'm just a scrap of cloth.
Yeah, but you're universal. Hindus, Jews, and Christians are also taught to dress modestly. That's really cool.
Plus, you get to have different appearances and different meanings in different places at different times. Now that's power.
Actually, they all show up in every world religion throughout history.
Great, so I attract a lot of attention. Most of it's still negative. Even when I look stunning.
Check the ego, please. Okay, time to move along. I'll go. I'm the ethical hijab. I'm referred to in 2 Quranic verses, for which I'm humbly grateful. I directed the Prophet's wives and his male and female kin to be reserved and to be more pious, especially as Islam's emerging message was facing great resistance.
Those were painful times for Muslims.
I'm amazed you can stay so diplomatic, ethical. Where's your anger?
I try and model the best behavior that I can. I'm the ethical threshold. I call upon Muslim women and men to inspire others through the behavior they model.
Ooh, I'm the fashion model, and you're the role model.
You ever notice how only you laugh at your jokes?
Okay, Spatial. Now, spiritual. You have 10 verses. We each only have 2.
We can't compete with that.
But I still feel erased. No one's ever heard of me.
You may want to lose the self-pity.
I'm the one who inhibits consciousness. I impair vision. I deafen ears. I numb minds. I prevent Muslims from overcoming ignorance and illiteracy. Ignorance is not bliss. With critical inquiry and deeper knowledge, Muslims can transcend me.
Oh my god, spiritual hijab exists to be eclipsed.
Absolutely. For Muslims to resist oppression and to thrive, they have to open their minds.
The verses are available for all Muslims to read without mediation.
10 verses or not, I've been ignored.
Because you're scary.
I'm not scary.
You're complicated.
Learning is scary. Questioning is scary. Challenging deeply held beliefs is scary.
I feel so ashamed. So humiliated. Like, I've been turned into false dogma, a fixed symbol of female Muslimness. I don't exist to restrain women's bodies.
We're experiencing some real breakthroughs here.
I would never prevent women from participating fully in public life. I don't imprison women in their homes. That's creepy.
When Muslim women embody me as a headscarf or a long cloak, all of a sudden I'm controlling women's bodies, and that's not me.
Public space belongs as much to women as to men. I'm not a barrier to full access or freedom of movement. And I'd despise myself if that's what I was.
They lied to me when they told me the basketball court was only for boys.
The basketball court belongs to everyone.
Oh, and then I get appropriated by Western and Muslim politicians to wage wars, and neither of them care about women. They care about power.
So, the imperialists and the Islamists are 2 sides of the same coin.
Women's bodies become their battlefield. The imperialists want women uncovered. The Islamists want women covered.
Women are but a pretext for justifying domination. They use women to advance their own interests. They don't care what women want.
They said I couldn't swim because boys would see me in a bathing suit.
And I'm not here to police Muslim women or men in public or private spaces. The individual Muslim determines how to express modest behavior, not me.
How did I become the suppressor of knowledge, free art, and critical thinking? I'm not the enforcer of ignorance or backwardness. I'm the obstacle that Muslims must overcome, using their free will. New knowledge and spiritual depth await Muslims who see beyond me.
So there's not one right interpretation?
There can never be. You have to interpret our verses and understand them for yourselves. That is something anyone and everyone can do.
Whoa, what just happened?
Ijtihad,
Ijtihad?
the Islamic form of interpreting the scriptures,
It's feminist ijtihad.
because it works to imagine an equitable world.
A gender just world.
We can interpret the Quran ourselves.
We don't need mediators.
This feels great. We can make sense of our own Muslimness in the face of injustice.
And we can do it in our classrooms,
In our homes,
Mosques.
legislatures,
on social media.
Anywhere.
This is exactly what we want, a practice of critical devailing.
one of deep understanding and empowerment.
That's non-patriarchal and anti-racist.
It's all there in the 16 verses. Through critical devailing, we can reread the hijab verses and make them our allies.
Well then, I say it's time we reread those verses.